What's up, everybody? It's Anthony Chewy89 and Aaron, aka Warhawk, and we are an Omega level threat. Today, this is episode 6, and we got a lot to cover. We got Dormammu, we got the Convocation, we have Baron Mortal, we have the Ancient. We got a lot of reveals that we didn't get to, that we're gonna get to today. First off, Aaron, what are your thoughts on Dormammu?
I'm gonna back you up.
Go ahead.
One second. So on the Facebook, people were asking like, what are some podcasts that touch on the comic book side of things in addition to the characters? And I sort of put a plug in there for us, and somebody liked it. So as long as we're sort of doing comic book news stuff with the characters, I know this is the wrong thing. But I'm gonna say it anyway.
Go ahead, go for it.
Suicide Squad dropped yesterday.
I haven't watched it.
I did. I did. Oh, it's so good.
I didn't watch it. I mean, I will today probably.
I will not spoil anything, but well worth the wait. Better than the original, and that's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah.
And then John Cena's actually getting his own spin-off show on HBO Max.
That's I'm good. The less I need to see of John Cena, the better.
Oh, he was great at it.
He's such a cornball. Look, but I'm coming from a wrestling perspective, so it, you know.
I liked him in the movie a lot.
Did you?
But
yeah.
Oh god, yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. No, I mean, I'm okay from the wrestling side of stuff. Like,
yeah, man,
I remember when him and Kurt Angle had a thing, and that's like when he was new.
It's not good. Like, let me just that's my impression of John Cena. That's why I can't get into. That's why I can't take him seriously at all. So I'm like, I never liked him as a wrestler, and then as an actor, it's just like, whatever, dude. You're still John Cena, the cornball to me, and that's just life. So. Yeah, but I need to watch that today, and I will. We can probably talk about that in probably next episode or whatever.
That's okay. I just figured I'd put out comic book related stuff.
Oh no, we still got comic references, right? I mean, you know more about Dormammu and the magic stuff than I do. When it comes to magic and Marvel, I'm not.
You don't mix.
No, I don't. It's not that I don't want to. It's just I haven't. Like, I mean, the main stuff that I read is like X-Men, Venom, which just finished up. That's it. I mean, from there, my list with Marvel comics. I mean, Spider-Man, Miles Morales.
Do we consider Iron Fist magic?
Yeah, I would think so. Yeah. Well, he's got some. I would consider it. I think he's magic in my opinion. Yeah. Well, anyway,
the whole seven cities of heaven thing is its own.
It's its own thing.
It's its own whole side thing of mythos, but I'm not going to go down that rabbit hole. But anyway, Suicide Squad dropped. I would say check it out. News-wise, other comic book stuff: Peacemaker, January 2022, for HBO Max, and then I think that's it for comic book related stuff.
Yeah.
Sort of a thing. They put out a little bit of details about plot of Moon Knight TV show.
Well, that is going to be a TV show.
That is.
Okay.
No, TV show.
Okay.
And they're doing season 1 is what they're filming now. There's a thing where they are possibly doing one of his 5th personalities, which I didn't know about. I guess if you consider Moon Knight a personality and then the other 3 a personality, there was a little blurb where they were like, maybe we'll get to see his 5th personality, and I didn't know about this. He's apparently got a 2nd personality called Mr. Knight that walks around in like a white tuxedo at night with like a crescent moon like burglar mask on, kind of, and he talks with people at night so they have safe travels, and so he's like a broker for Moon Knight.
Okay.
So, like, there's 2 separate Moon Knight personalities, which I find... I don't know if you need that, but I guess it just sort of showcases how crazy he's becoming, because apparently they introduced Mr. Knight 2016, 2017, something like that.
Right.
So it's a fairly new thing, so expect the show to maybe touch on that. I don't know.
Yeah, we'll see.
So that's news and housekeeping for...
Yeah, no problem. Sorry about that. I'm not... I've been so... I've been wrapped with MCP stuff, and everything else has kind of been secondary, and I haven't been paying attention to anything.
I've been the opposite because I had a Legion tournament last weekend.
Yeah,
so.
I went to a MCP tournament up in Oshkosh this past Saturday. I was only able to play 2 rounds and I had to go right afterwards, but I had a great time, man. Getting to see people out there playing the game. We had about 8 players. I ran Spider Foes, and if anything, if you guys want to, in the description down below on the YouTube channel, I'll have a link to my Spider Foes impressions and with Sinister Traps and all that. My new perspective on the Spider Foes, especially when we talk about a certain character that's coming out. You might want to check that out.
Quick now.
Yeah, we will. Do you want to go? Well, I already got Dormammu's picture up.
Well, no, I mean, as long as you're talking about the tournament, you ran Spider Foes. What was your list?
Oh, list. I mean, it was all over the place. So it was I have to remember it. So it was Green Goblin, Carnage, Lizard, Mysterio. Green Goblin, Carnage, Mysterio, Lizard. I ran Angela, 5. Koye for 6, 7. I believe I ran. Who else did I run? It's hard to remember off the top of my head. The next 3 characters.
Say, if it's characters you didn't play, maybe that's not.
No. I mean, it's characters I probably didn't play, and most likely I didn't play. I mean, I only played 2 games. Let me just look at my roster right now, and I can. What does it matter? I ran about 7.
No, I mean, if you didn't play them.
Yeah, exactly. I didn't play them, so it doesn't matter. So those are the characters that came to the top of my head. And then from there, the tactics was I ran Blind Obsession, I ran Field Dressing, All You've Got, Sinister Traps. What else did I run? It was, like I said, All You've Got, Field Dressing, Sinister Traps, Blind Obsession. There's 4 cards left, and I can't seem to remember them at all, which is funny. Shoot. Climbing gear. I ran climbing gear. I ran Bitter Rivals. That's obvious. So we're at 6, and I have 2 more. I mean, this should be easy. It should just come to my head. It doesn't matter. I ran about those cards, and then tactics was Mystical Counted Herbs, Spider Infected, and hammers. And the other for secures, it was serum for the power. I picked up spider portals. I ran that too, and then I ran Gamma Wave. I believe I never got a chance to play Gamma Wave at all. But yeah, I mean my impressions. I mean, Sinister Traps changes the game for them, and it makes them playable, right? I ran a leaderless. My first game, I ran a leaderless Spider Foes list. It was Carnage, Craven, Lizard, Angela, and Okoye. That's about 17 points. I played against Criminal Syndicate, and he ran. So here's what happened. I ran the Serum, and he ran Legacy Virus, and I had priority, right? So I start off the game. We're at 17. I chose 17. There's no way we're playing 19 points. So I went 17. Angela, what I ended up doing was I put the Sinister Traps on the middle virus, right? And then from there, what I ended up doing was moving up once with Angela, grabbing the virus, running back to the Serum. And then from the other side, I had Lizard and Craven just holding down that Serum, and Lizard going up and getting that other virus. So I had 2 viruses and controlling 2 serums. So immediately, if you do the math there, I'm up, 43 at that point? And nobody contesting the middle one. Nobody grabbing the middle virus because they didn't want to take the trap. And what he ran as Criminal Syndicate was what? Kingpin, MODOK, Sin and Crossbones, and Bob.
That is a weird list.
It's very weird. And we talked about it a little bit when I played him afterwards. I probably wouldn't have done it, but he just likes Sin and Crossbones, and I was like, that's fine.
It's like if I'm playing Sin Crossbones, I think I'm in a Cabal list, and I'm not shoehorning it into a Criminal Syndicate.
I agree. I would have run something different, but that's life. So he ended up running. He was the brilliant part. So MODOK was in the middle, right? So the problem with MODOK being there with Sinister Traps is, well, anybody in general, if I put the trap in the middle, there's only a few characters that can get there in one move and grab it. Okay? So if you really want that middle virus to get the point lead or to tie me, you're gonna have to burn 2 moves, right? And then if you burn the 2 moves and you take the trap, I get to push you small now. So now after you burn 2 actions, I do damage and I get to push you in any direction I want to, right? And lo and behold, what direction am I going to push you in? In Carnage's. So when Carnage is in range and not have to move and just do 2 attacks with no problem, Carnage is going to have a field day. So I mean, I was having a lot of fun with it. I won that game. What ended up happening was, long story short, Angela came in, blind obsession onto Kingpin. Kingpin had 2 of the viruses. I went, and Angela had the 3rd virus. I moved once, attacked Kingpin, killed him, stole both viruses, took it in one. That's basically what happened. Basically what happened, and it was like, okay, cool, that's awesome. And it's
he brought virus, right? You didn't.
I didn't bring virus. You did, yeah.
Yeah.
And I played at 17.
Sort of didn't work out for.
No, not at all. And especially the other thing is, like, the trap, like, it changes the opponent's mindset, especially like if you're putting it on something that is hard to obtain turn 1. Like, for example, on a B map, I'm not going to put the trap on a B map. It's just not going to happen. And why do I say that? Well, if I put it on their trap in a B format, well, most characters can get there within 1 move with a medium. If they get up there with 1 move and burn an action and then take the trap, I'm only going to push them and then they're just going to get back onto the point. Now,
yeah, I think you're better off doing which ones across the middle? C?
Like C and D. Like the D maps, you put them outside. Like, choose one, because those are the 2 hardest ones to get. And if they have to burn 2 moves to get there, or for example, you want to get cheeky, if you have somebody with a push, and let's say they don't want to get, let's say they're within range of it, like a short distance, you only have to get within 2 of the trap. So if you have somebody that can do an attack and push them onto it, then they take the trap and then you reposition again. Like, it's huge. And then you can have somebody go and take that point. Like, Sinister Traps really, it changed. It makes them playable. I'll just put it like this: it makes the foes playable and it makes them fun to play. Right. So I
haven't looked at the card in forever. It's foes only, right?
It's foes only. That's it. Okay. Yeah. So, all you can do is, run. Like I said, first game I didn't run Goblin. I think that was the right choice. Second game I ran Goblin. He didn't do too bad. I mean, he did okay. I still don't think he's great. I still think he has issues. But with the trap card, with the Sinister Trap card that came out, I mean, if you can push somebody within range of him, it's a trap card. It's a trap card. I mean, the beautiful thing about it is like, with Mysterio having his if you end a movement within 3, then you do the mirror thing, or his superpower, roll dice, do damage, and then he moves small. Like, there's some play there. There's some shenanigans that you can do there, which is interesting. Right. Overall impression, like I said, with that card, I mean, you could run the team without Green Goblin and you'll be fine. That's my thought on it. I ran Green Goblin because I'm like, you know what, he's here and he has a leadership that can possibly turn a game around, which I didn't use 1 time and it cost me a game. Yeah, I completely forgot about it. There was an attack I did. I threw 20 dice into Cable with Carnage. I needed 2 damage, got nothing. And if I would have sorry, go ahead.
I was gonna say, was it a 3-round tournament? You just played 2?
I just played 2. I had to leave at the 3rd round now. I had to leave. I couldn't stay longer. We had like 10 people there though.
Okay, so it was funny. I took off for that day to actually go to that tournament with you, and then it just turned out the Legion tournament I went to that I was hosting and like TOing and helping with was the same day. So.
Yeah, there you go. No, that's fine. Don't worry about it. I mean, it was fun. It was a small little thing. I do got to get to.
I got 2nd place.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what I won a game and then lost one. And I was like, okay, the game I lost, really, he's a good player. It was close. I lost 18-14, and it was a again, like I just said, Carnage threw 20 dice in the Cable, did no damage. I just needed 2. That was with all you've got, and nothing. And then he just died, and then Carnage just obliterated himself. One thing I'll say is, like, you don't get mad that Carnage dies. I will tell you that right now. Do not get mad that he dies. Get mad if he doesn't do anything, then he dies. Because the whole point of Carnage is to like daze their in like at least 2 or 3 models. If you set it up right, if you do it properly. And once he does that, once he does his job, just expect him to die. And that's it. And you'll be fine.
I mean, I didn't have any other expectations for him. So
Yeah, that's it. So
I don't even own him. So
yeah, I have him, and he's fun. He's fun.
Is he out yet?
He's out in certain areas. I mean, I got him from Poland.
Okay,
he's coming
I
out
behind on release.
No, you're not. I mean, well, Atomic Mass is a little behind with the States. Right now, the 20th, they're going to be out. Amazing Spider-Man, Black Cat, and then Carnage Mysterio will be the 20th. And right now, Blade and Moon Knight and Dormammu was supposed to be August 13th. That got pushed back. They're still going to be August 13th, but in select areas. I think these two got pushed back to either September or October. We don't know. It's all a mess right now. It's all just I don't know what it is, and it's really annoying. But yeah, no, that was my experience from the tournament. I had a great time. It was fun. And it changed my perspective on a team that I was like really down on. Well, still kind of down on, but at least with Sinister Traps, changes it up a little bit. And I actually like the new tactic card, Neogenetic Recombinator, which is take 3 damage off.
You cut out there.
Oh, wait, sorry. What? Neogenetic Recombinator. That's a card that just came out. For him, it's basically take 3 damage off a character, put it on yourself. I mean, if you think about who that's meant for, that's pretty good.
Who does it come with?
Lizard.
Oh,
Lizard and Craven, I believe.
I bought the box, but I didn't open it.
Yeah, it comes with them. That card is purely meant for Venom right now. I mean, if you think about it, take 3 damage, put it on to Venom, and then Venom does We Are Venom. Heals it back. That's basically what I came up with it.
You could probably play it on Lizard, and he'd be okay too.
You could probably play it on Lizard too, yeah, and be all right.
If he's run away with an objective, or if he's holding it by himself and no one's contesting him, or he's knocked them away out of the fight, or
absolutely
pulled them away. I mean, it sounds like you've got the board control this.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, obviously, it's like, where do I use this and when? But in a magical Christmas land vacuum of possibilities, you've got 2 solid targets for it off the top of my head.
Yeah, absolutely. 2 solid targets is a nice card, and I don't have to, and I can get away with not running like Med Pack or patch up for a turn, right? If someone released the heal.
Is that one also Spider Foes only?
That's Spider Foes only.
Okay.
Yeah. So they got some cool stuff, man. They got some cool stuff. I'm actually in a message forum on Discord where they're like, because I released that video, which by the way has like 80 views, which is insane.
What video?
My thoughts on Spider Foes. I have 88 views on that thing, and I'm like, I can't believe it. I'm like, all right, like that's pretty cool. I didn't know there was gonna be 88 people interested in my thoughts on a Spider Foes.
People are trying to make that team work, and there's just no information out there.
Nothing.
People are like lit.
Yeah, and I was really surprised, and I'm happy about that. That's cool. Thank you. Keep it up. Keep watching that video. I think it's good. But yeah, without that, I mean, that's that. That's basically my brain dump on Spider Foes right now.
I think any team you can sort of make work. I gotta find a team that alpha strikes like super hard. I have a feeling Carnage is gonna come into that somehow.
Oh yeah, he will, for sure. I mean, Doomsday Prophecy. Doom's Prophecy.
Well, that's what I was running in Legion, and that felt hilariously good when somebody across the table's like, "Your list does what to mine?" And then like turn 2, they're like, "Huh, half my team's dead."
Yep, exactly. That literally that's what will happen to you with Carnage. If you play
that's why I was like, "Huh, I wonder if I could like reverse engineer this from Legion into MCP and get like a super aggressive team that just consistently puts out damage."
Oh, you will. I mean, it's coming, by the way. I think with Doom Prophecy, with the increased play in that, and lineup session, all you've got. I mean, it's there, right? You just got to put it together. I think Carnage for sure does that. I'll just say that right now.
I kind of want to run Cable Blind Obsession and just 7 dice somebody until they're dead.
You can. I mean, I
I
don't
don't see
knock it. I mean, it's Platinum Sessions, seen an uptick in play too. That's a decent card as well. Like,
Yeah.
so, all right, let's get into Baron Mordo because we didn't talk about Baron Mordo. So this is where again, okay. So I'm talking about Spider Foes.
Or I thought we were gonna do Dormammu first.
Oh, do you
Which
want?
one
You know
are we
what?
doing?
Let's go to Dormammu. Let's go to Dormammu, and then we can come back to.
Stick to the plan.
Let's stick to the plan. I changed it, but we're gonna stick to it. All right, let's go to Dormammu because this is the hot top. This is like this week. It's all Dormammu until Convocation came up, but it's Dormammu. All right, let's get into this, okay? So Dormammu, 10 health, moves medium, size 5, threat 8, right? Defense dice 4/4/5. So 5 on
4
psychic,
physical. I was gonna say 4 physical, 4 energy,
4 psychic. Yeah, 5 mystic. Sorry, 5 mystic. Yes.
or psychic, whatever. Mental,
Psychic,
I think that's what it's
mental.
called.
Whatever it is, that's what it is. The blue thing. So really solid stat line, right? And he's on a 65 millimeter base. He moves medium, so he moves fast. I thought they were gonna make him move small, but that's fine. Medium. I mean, he's gonna contest points really rather easily on one move. So he's gonna be in.
I think it's because his base size is.
Oh, it's
not-
huge.
Wait, is it huge?
Oh yeah,
I thought it was the
65
smaller
millimeters.
one.
No.
Hmm.
He's
Okay.
he's on a huge base, and he's gonna basically get in on D maps and just go in, get a hammer, and get away, or be within range of attacking somebody. Because, well, let's continue here. So that's all the stats. So then let's get to the attacks here. Shadow Bolt, his free one, range 4, 6 die energy attack. On a wild result, you get hexed, and he has sap power. What he doesn't have here is any way to generate power. So there's no equal to damage dealt. There's no you get 1 power. He has to sap to get power. Are you there?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
No, I
Oh,
was.
Yeah.
I'm here.
Oh, yeah. Okay. I got you.
You were doing your thing.
Okay. Yeah. So what do you think about that?
I mean, can we come back to me when we read the other thing?
Yeah, we'll get back
gives
to
him
it.
power.
We'll get back to it. Yeah. So Incantation of Obliteration says Big Spender, range 3, psychic, 8 die, 5 power cost. Pretty expensive. On a crit hit block failure, after this attack is resolved. By the way, that condition is just ridiculous. After the attack is resolved, this character may make an additional Incantation of Obliteration attack without paying the power cost. The additional target must target a character within 2 of the original target that has not been targeted by the incantation. So you have to hit somebody else that's within range 2 of that character. That requirement is going to be hard to hit, but it happens. I mean, sometimes it happens, and it's like, whoa, you can do it again? Yeah. For free? Yeah.
I feel like they had 3 conditions, and it came up more often than it really should have.
Probably, yeah, and it was like too much. So they gave it a 4th, and they're like, okay, cool. Which is fine. I mean, it's supposed to be a ridiculous requirement. I mean, if you can do this again for free, my God, you know, like, I'd be like, ugh, goodbye models, right?
I mean, theoretically, you can do it a 3rd time.
You could, if you
Have a 3rd target.
3rd target, yeah. Well, no, because you would have to hit the requirement, and then you have to have another 5 power. Well, you do this, do the 2nd attack. And then your next action would have to be this attack again at 5 power.
Oh, right.
Yeah. So you can't do it. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. No, you're right.
Yeah, I
There's
was gonna
nothing
say it doesn't say that
you can't do it again. Oh my lord.
I mean, technically, if I'm reading this right,
no, it
if
doesn't
you
say.
hit the 4, then you hit the 4.
Then
and
you hit
have
the
3
4.
targets. There's no reason you can't perform it again. It just says within 2 of the original target character that has not been targeted by Incantation of Obliteration this round.
Yep. So you can chain it. Granted, the chance of that happening is probably none.
Bonkers. But so the other important thing to note about this attack, right? The bonus specifically says has not been targeted by Incantation of Obliteration this round. So let's say you have 10 energy and you fire off at person A and it spikes to get the B target on them. Let's say you have the second 5 energy and it doesn't spike again, you can't target them with this attack.
Yeah, right. That's true. But
so
I mean, you can.
I mean, who cares? You
Who
got a
cares?
free one.
You got a free one. It doesn't matter.
Just
right?
go to a Shadow Bolt, I guess, or target some other
Target some
Persep.
other Persep, exactly. So pretty decent attacks here. Let's get to his affiliation, which everybody's like, this is crazy. So if Dormammu is included in a squad, that squad is affiliated with the Dark Dimension and must use its leadership ability. So that means no matter what characters you choose, even if you're affiliated with Avengers or whatever, you will be the Dark affiliate. You will be the Dark Dimension. Okay, no matter what. So if you try to run a Defenders team with Dormammu, nope, you're Dark Dimension. If you try to run an X-Men team, nope, you're Dark Dimension. Brotherhood, nope, you're Dark Dimension. Black Order, you're Dark Dimension. No, it doesn't matter. So which is pretty cool. Like the rosters that people are coming up with him, just insane. So that's cool. So this character and each other character you control gains 1 additional power during the power phase. Okay. That's awesome because characters that have an issue generating power early or just need that extra power to do something really cool. One comes to mind to me is Punisher. Punisher has a 2 power cost move small, advanced small superpower. He can pull that off turn 1 no problem. And it'll get him into the fight, no issue with 1 move, pop a rapid fire, or do something like that. So some things like that.
Give me 1 second. I think my neighbor's trying to get a hold of me.
Yeah, no problem. No, you're good. You're good. So I'm gonna keep talking until he comes back. So yeah, things like that. And I mean, on top of that, characters like Valkyrie, who generate 2 power already, can now pull off a charge, and let's say if they whiff an attack, they're able to contest an objective, they're able to pick up an objective because you have that extra power now, right? You don't have to do an advanced R&D, nothing like that. So it's pretty cool. I like it. I'm a fan of it. I mean, it's just characters I think of right away that work well with this are going to be Iron Fist, Valkyrie. I mean, I like the Punisher has some juice there. I mean, I haven't tested it myself, but I think he might have some potential. If you're, I don't know. I mean, it's endless, right? I mean, that extra power cost that other models weren't getting at the beginning of the turn, now they can do certain things. That's awesome. And then during the power phase, if another allied character has 6 or more power, it suffers 1 damage. So what stinks about this is that if you, granted, like if you're not keeping track of power and you get to next turn and you're taking damage and all that, and you're left at 1, what sucks about that is you can have multiple models days that turn and you're not going to get a turn to play. So you have to be really, 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 really careful with how aggressive you are when it comes to certain plays. Try not to get your models in bad situations where they can get dazed or take a lot of damage. Now, granted, that's easier said than done. We have models that move people around. You have to contest objectives too. You can't just sit back and not do anything. So you gotta really be careful. And for me, like when I see something like this, like to me, what comes to my head is I feel like if you're playing Dormammu with a whole bunch of characters, you're constantly, and I mean constantly, doing big spenders. I would constantly do big spenders until I couldn't do any anymore, right? Because I want to spend that power as much as possible so I don't take that damage. Now, granted, what stinks about that is I do say that, but what that sucks about that is that if models were to attack you, you're gonna take damage and you're gonna gain power, right? So if they just leave you on 1 left and you gain, you have 6 power or whatever the case may be, you're gonna daze that next turn during the power phase, and you got to figure it out. And there is a card in mind that I think works really well with this. That might have some legs. But we'll wait for Aaron to get back here in a little bit, and I'll let him get his thoughts on the leadership and all that stuff. But to me, I mean, the roster creation for Dormammu is just amazing. I mean, he's he's changing things. He's adding something new to the game that in my experience, I've never seen before. You know, playing miniature games, right? I've never seen a character come in and they're the leader, and no matter what you play, in a game. And the other thing is, so you got to keep in mind, in a game where the roster is endless. I mean, you can play anything with anybody. There's no restrictions. You can do whatever the hell you want. Like, the list is endless of characters that you can play with him. And it's going to be interesting. That what hurts him the most, and well, he has no rerolls or anything like that. He has nothing like that. I mean, he can't boost his defense dice or nothing like that, like a Doctor Strange can do. So I've seen a couple games so far where Dormammu's just crap to bed and dazed, and that was it. Didn't get time to play, didn't get time to do anything at all. So you got to be really careful with how you play him. I've seen some lockjaw with him, which is interesting. I mean, I've seen it. I mean, this is insane. But what I think you need to be doing with this team is getting the power of spending it, and spend it and make it count. Now, granted, in a game where the dice are insane, it can go either way. I mean, you can roll really poopy, and then there's nothing you can do about it, or you can roll really well, and you're doing a lot of crap, and you spent the power that you needed to spend, and then from there you're not concerned with taking that damage that next turn during your power phase, because that's huge. You know what I mean? And it's people who pick Dormammu and make rosters around him. I'm really can't wait to see what they come up with. I've got something that I'm working on with him, and I don't want to get into it yet because I'm still working through it and seeing if it makes sense. But yeah, no, I'm really excited about Dormammu, and I cannot wait to get this guy in my hands. He's changing it. Man, I cannot wait. And right now we don't have Aaron, so I think I'll continue. So that's his leadership right now. And his superpower, not of this dimension. Place this character within 2 of its current position. The superpower can only be used once per turn. So he can place himself within 2, so he does have a way to get around the board, get around people. He does, for 3 power, that should be easy for him to gain. Especially with him gaining 2 power at the beginning of the turn. And from there, he's going to gain power other ways, and we'll get to that in a little bit. But the place within 2 is really nice. If he wants to pull off a couple of attacks without doing a move action, this is the best way to do it. You pop this. I wish he had something similar to Thanos where he can port other people. But this is fine. It is for himself. He wants to get out of dodge, or he wants to get in closer to do some really big damage and hurt people. I'm a fan of it. Feel the power of darkness. So this is a 2 power cost superpower here. After an attack target's character is resolved.
I thought we were just gonna cut that part out because I have to move my car.
Oh no, that's fine. I just kept going because I'm like, dude, like, might as well. It's fine.
Yeah, whatever.
Don't worry.
That's fine.
Don't worry.
I gotta move my car quick, so I'll be right back.
No problem. I'm gonna keep going, and now I'll just get your thoughts on Dormammu. You're good. So feel the power of darkness. After an attack targeting this character is resolved, they may use the superpower. The attacking character is pushed away from this character's small and gains the hex special condition. So this is really cool too. So after you target Dormammu with an attack and you're trying to take him down, if you don't kill him, I get to push you away from a small. Now, I personally wish this was a push in any direction, but that's just me being greedy, and that's just me being, okay, yeah, I would love that because that's awesome. I want to bring him closer and then just annihilate him. But I'm thinking that the thought process with this is, since he doesn't have any rerolls, since he doesn't have any adjustment to his defense die or attack die or anything like that, they're thinking, okay, push somebody away and get him hex, right? That's pretty cool, and it's awesome. I love that's a pretty cool, decent, and it's cheap for Dormammu. It's cheap. Now, granted, I say that because we'll get to his innate in a little bit, and you'll find out why that's pretty cheap. So if the attacking character already had the hex special condition, this still continues. So let's say if they have hex already and they found a way to do another attack on you or whatever the case may be, you gain incinerate instead. So not only did you do an attack, I pushed you, you gained hex. Now you got incinerate. Now you're making it easier for me to knock you out of the game. Those are two really devastating conditions to have. Hex, you can't explode on crits. Incinerate, you're -1 on defense. So, you know, you're making it easier for me to take you out, basically. And that's a really cool superpower. I'm a huge fan of it. Really interesting stuff. I can't wait. I just can't wait to play this. And that's fine. So that's Feel the Power of Darkness. So now let's get to his Master of the Realm of Darkness, okay? When this character suffers damage from an enemy effect, it gains 1 power instead of power your damage dealt suffered. So this is, you know, I'm pretty sure they found out that after testing and doing all this, that if you left that at equal to damage dealt, he just had an exuberant amount of power, and it was just overwhelming, probably. I like this. Not that I, you know, if I'm playing Dormammu, I'll be like, damn it, I should have gained all that damage, right? I like it because they thought about it and they said, okay, we can't have him do that, right? We have a way for him to build power with his leadership. We don't need him to gain power, you know, from equal to damage dealt when he takes damage. I mean, it's just too much, and I guarantee there's probably some testing that was done, and it was just overwhelming. And the fact that they came to that decision was interesting to me. And I just think personally in testing, he had too much power and was doing a lot of crazy shenanigans, right? So that's interesting. So remember this: when you're playing Dormammu, or anybody out there who's listening, if you take more than 1 damage, no matter what, you only gain 1 power, and no more than that. Period. No more than that. Okay? So really interesting stuff. That's interesting, but we're gonna get into why here, right? Let's start. I already talked about what I think will happen during testing. Not that I know, I'm just guessing. That's just my opinion. So when another allied character is damaged by an enemy effect or by Flames of Flatline, this character gains 1 power. So again, we're getting into the leadership here now. Okay, so the leadership, if you have 6 power, you take a damage, right? 6 or more power, you take a damage. Now, if another character takes damage from an enemy effect, I mean, that's damage, that's whatever, he gains a power. So he has other ways to gain power outside of attacks and just his leadership. So now if other models take a damage, he gains a power. Just like that, he gains a power, and he only gains 1 power when he takes the damage. So with this he should be able to build power pretty effectively, okay, with his innate here. So he's not doing it in a conventional way where it's do a bunch of damage with an attack or take a bunch of damage from an attack and you gain power. No. His way of doing it is, okay, my characters take a damage, I gain a power, or I take a whole bunch of damage, but I gain a power. So he has other ways to gain the power, and he has that power with Shadow Bolt as well. So I got to the Master of the Realm of Darkness already, so I'm at that innate. Welcome back, Aaron. Gotta keep the people entertained.
If we were better at audio, we would just edit that part out. Like, oh, yeah.
No,
my neighbor is also our maintenance guy, and apparently they're putting in a new washer and dryer, and my car was blocking the way. And then I found out the hard way that you can't park in like the nearby parking lot because violators will be towed. So I had to drive around the block like 3 times looking for parking.
That sucks. Well, at least you're not here during State Fair, man. Good luck with that. Right?
This is just the place I rent.
I know. I know. So yeah.
Real quick. Yeah. Okay. So not of this dimension. He has movement control for himself feel the power of darkness. He has movement control for people attacking him. There, we're all caught up.
We're all caught up, basically. Yeah. So right, I'm getting to the end of the innate here. So the innate, so additionally, when calculating successes, now this people need to really read and understand how this works. Additionally, when calculating successes or failures of this character's attacks, this character adds the number of failures in both the attack and defense rolls to its total successes. So how this works is I do an attack with Dormammu. I rolled 2 failures and got a hit. My opponent rolls dice. My opponent rolled 2 failures and a block. Right now, total that up because you add their failures plus mine. I have 2. They have 2. I have 1 hit. That's 5 successes in the attack roll. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's how that works. So
yeah,
really interesting.
On that.
No, I just for the people, right? If they're reading this and having whatever, that's how that works. Okay, so it doesn't work on his defense rolls. It doesn't work like Scarlet Witch where it works on everything, right? This only works on his attack rolls. So immediately, like, I mean, this character wants to burn the house down. Okay, no pun intended. Like, Dormammu to me wants to melt everything on the board. Now, it's funny because after reading all this with him not having rerolls or anything, I still think Carnage does it a bit better. I still think he does it a bit better. But it's still effective and he can still do it with the right combination of cards and characters around him. I feel like
they're completely different characters. Like, you bring them.
No, they're not the same. You did, but like Dormammu, I get the feeling that you want to daze and KO models and just melt models basically, and just overwhelm people with the power gain with other models, right? So like, you know, you're pumping Valkyrie full of power and then she goes off, right? Or you're pumping whatever, you know, your beaters full of power and they just go off, right? I feel like they just want to go in and just spend all this power and just go nuts. That's the feeling I get with the Dark Dimension affiliation. I don't know if you get a different feeling for it, but that's the feeling I get.
The feeling I get from Dark Dimension is both Dark Dimension and what's the new one, the Covenant or whatever?
Convocation.
Yeah, sure. I think their goal with both those from a design perspective, at least from what I'm seeing, is they wanted to try something different with
I agree.
roster building. And I think with Dark Dimension, specifically Dormammu Dark Dimension, I think this is the guy you bring when you don't want to run a traditional affiliation.
Yeah.
This is the guy where you want to cherry pick your models to do whatever it is they do. Never mind necessarily killing stuff. I think Dormammu's the guy when you're like, I don't know what affiliation to play, but I want to play this model. Okay, so you take an extra, I mean, I get it, he's 8 points, but you take like an extra 2 points over the maximum for your normal centerpiece model, or, you know, being a centerpiece model is usually 5 or 6, right? So you're taking a huge tax on this for this really powerful character, but then you're not restricted to an affiliation. I mean, you're playing an affiliation, but it doesn't even matter. Like,
right. And this basically opens up the roster building for people that like doing unaffiliated stuff. Granted, you are going to be affiliated with Dark Dimension, but what I mean by that is you're not like playing. You're not bringing like 4 spider foes because you want to run spider or whatever. You can play whatever the hell you want, and it's always the Dark Dimension. You can just mix and match a whole bunch of characters, and it doesn't matter.
So he doesn't have anyone else in Dark Dimension. Like, he doesn't have a Dark Dimension list. No. Okay.
Not that we know.
Everyone becomes affiliated.
Everybody becomes affiliated, and that's it.
Yeah, and that's what I thought.
Yeah. I
wanted to confirm, because in that case, it makes me kind of wonder where the hell the Hood is going to be affiliated. So,
you know what's funny? We say that he might. Well, we'll get to that in a little bit. I think he might have a slot in Criminal Syndicate for sure.
Oh, absolutely. That's without saying.
And probably this might be a stretch. Cabal is not.
No.
Yeah.
He replaced Kingpin on the Illuminati or whatever for a while.
So Convocation, he might have a slot in there. Who knows?
No, definitely not.
You don't think
He's,
so?
no. Comic book origins say
Doesn't work.
he's
Okay.
no, nope.
Okay. Okay.
Um,
So probably
I
not
mean,
then.
even when he knew he was working for Dormammu, he didn't turn back.
Ah, got it. Got it.
He at that point, that's where he went after like cosmic cubes and multiple gems because he wanted to get enough power to just overthrow his boss. He
Ah.
went deeper into the rabbit hole of power trying to get out of his basically Faustian bargain.
Got it.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, Parker Robbins wasn't like, well, maybe if I ally with the good guys, we could beat Dormammu. He's like, no, I want to overthrow my boss. Like,
Yep.
I don't want somebody above me.
Yep. All right. I can dig it.
He committed to the bit. Then when he realized he was in a 6-foot hole, he's like, time to dig to China to get out.
Yep, exactly. Okay.
So there's no way he's on Convocation.
Okay. Well, there you go. So maybe, but yeah, yeah, your thoughts.
At least those two.
Yeah.
But yeah, so earlier where we were like, you're like Shadowbolt, heck, set power he doesn't generate normally. I'm sitting here looking at Master of the Realm of Darkness and Flames of the Vaulting, like, I don't see a problem.
No,
honestly,
no. And I talked about that while you were gone. I was like, the reason why this is okay, the reason why Shadowbolt's okay, is because of the innate and because of the leadership, right? So if other models are taking damage, he gains some power. And he gains power from the affiliation by himself already, and he has other ways to do it. So this isn't a problem. You know what I mean? So you really don't need. Would it be?
I don't know if I want to fuel, like, as a gameplay thing though. I do not know how much. That's not a weird mechanic. That is a very risk reward mechanic.
Oh yeah.
Like, deliberately push Flames of the Faultine up on your other characters to fuel Dormammu is, I mean, unless it's a character that can heal. Like, I think Omega Red Venom here can help out.
I think. Oh man, okay, so check it out. So there's a card I had. Okay. Stupid phone. Oh, sorry about that. Anyway, so there's a card I've had my eye on for months now, and I think I finally found a spot to play it in.
What card?
Oh, Sucker. Because Sucker. Okay, with that,
I used it in Web Warriors.
I haven't used it once. I've had my eye on it. I have not had the reason, or just I didn't have anything to play it. I'm like, 10 power. I mean, not just 10 power. Like, I gotta spend this power to take it down. Like, whatever. I probably don't need that right now. But with how this team generates power, and you got to think about how. So now everybody's net gaining +1, and that's, let's just say you're going with base characters, and they don't gain another power. Now they're on. 2. Yeah, go ahead.
No, I which ones? I must be confusing Sucker with something else.
Here, I got you. Let me get up on the thing here, and I'll show you what I'm talking about.
No, I'm pulling up my collection.
No, go for it. I'll get it on the YouTube here, and I'll explain my thought process on this card and why I think it works with this affiliation.
Here. Oh, these are so beautifully organized. I can get to them so quickly. So quickly.
Oh, absolutely. You're going to have to go through a lot. That might be one of those that's very down there. Like I said, it's something I've never played once.
No. They're alphabetized. It's fine. I just had to find the right section. Oh, I was thinking of a different card. Sorry. I was thinking of either Trip Up or one of the other Spidey themed pictures.
Oh, sure.
I don't know. I go by pictures mentally. Anyway.
No, that's fine. But let me just pull up here on the thing right quick so everybody can see what I'm talking about and why I have my eye on it and why I think it has play here.
I think it does. The question is, I don't know.
Well, check it out. I mean, think about this. So if you're the whole point of this, and here's the thing too, keep this in mind. You're probably most likely always going to have priority with this team because the numbers are going to be, you're not going to have the numbers on like Sam Spamless. You're not going to have the numbers on Wakanda. You're not going to have numbers on cheaper teams that you play against. So you're probably always going to have priority. Okay. So, and with the way this team's generating power, and the fact that if you gain 6 power during the power phase, your character takes a damage, you want to spend that power. So all I'm thinking about is what cards.
It's not. It's to clarify. It's not gain 6 power. It's if they have 6 or more power on them, it deals 1 damage to them.
That's what I'm saying. Right. Yeah. If they have 6 or more power, so you want to find ways to spend that power to. Let's say, for example, you're down on. I don't know. You're down on. Let's say you got 5 power, right, or 6 power, whatever the case may be, and you have 1 health left, right?
I found a card I want to play with Dormammu.
Yeah, I mean, dude, go down the. You're gonna find cards because of how this affiliation works.
No, this is so dumb. Play Battle Lust with Dormammu.
Yeah, no, that's not dumb. That's not dumb. People have it. Yeah, people. That's been brought up already. Battle Lust is another one.
Oh God, that's so funny,
dude. Another one. Follow me.
Yeah, I know. Follow me was like kind of a given, but Battle Lust is just like.
Oh no, Battle Lust, absolutely. Another card, smash.
Yeah, smash. Yeah.
Get Dormammu more dice, dude. That's what I like about it. It just. So let me read Sucker right quick. Sucker. I've had this. I've had it like right in my back pocket. I've been waiting for an opportunity to find a way to play this card. When 2 allied characters are within 3 of the same injured enemy character, they may both spend power, any amount of power to play this card. The enemy character loses 2 power equal to the amount spent. So, like I said, so if you, like, for example, you get an injured character and they have a ton of power, and next turn, let's say you didn't kill him. Let's just say you didn't kill him. You're like, damn it, he's got 2 health left, but he's got 10 power. Next turn, he's just going to ruin my day. Okay? But you got all this power on Dormammu. You got all this power on another character that's within 3. You just spend that power and take it away from him. You're gonna gain some power next turn anyway to do stuff because of fault line and because of other crap that you can whatever. But just think about that. Like
I don't disagree with the assessment. My issue is I don't like the card.
No, I didn't say it was great, but like it's a way to spend power and to get that power off you, right? And to, because remember, you reach 6, you go to the power phase, you if you take a damage, and let's say if you're at 5 health, you die. That character does not get to activate.
Yeah, I mean,
so you got to think about ways.
I'd have to look through. I'd have to look through all the. That might be one of the best spenders you have for a tactics card. I guess I don't like how constricting it is. Like they have to be
absolutely.
Injured, 2 characters within 3.
Exactly.
I mean, if it was any one character just spends power, your opponent loses power, I think it would have more play.
This would have. Yeah, exactly. This would have play regardless. I mean, yeah, if it was like, for example, if it wasn't just restricted to injured, absolutely. And if only one character can do it, I mean, this card would see more play. But the fact that, you know, the way Dormammu hands out power to people with his affiliation, and then the way he gains power, like it's especially on a character that's injured, and you want to just, you know, that I thought of this and I'm like, okay, we'll see. I want to give it a shot and I want to see if it works.
Very few cards let you spend any amount.
Exactly.
And by the way, I'm gonna note something here, and maybe this is one of those forum questions that Neo Goldar would have to fix, but it doesn't say anything that you can't spend more than the energy they have.
No, it doesn't. It says any amount.
It doesn't. Yep.
So
it says any amount, and that's one of those things. Can you overspend, or can it only be? Can it only remove what it says?
Right.
You know?
Right. That's something I have to ask too. But now that I put this out there, somebody's gonna take my idea now.
I'll message him right now.
No, I know somebody's gonna take my idea because I've been holding on to this. I'm just gonna wait for the right time, but I need to talk about it because I need to get this off my head. I think this card with them, there's some play. I'm not saying it's legit. I'm not saying it's great. I'm saying it's an option, right? Because you're, like I said, you're at a point in the game where, and I just gave a scenario. You're at 5 health. You're at 6 power. During the next power phase, if you need that character to do something, well, they're going to die because they're at X amount of power. You don't want the character to die, right?
The question, well, so there's 2 ways to go about building this team with Dormammu, right? I think you can walk kind of walk the line Johnny Cash style and like use your energy as a risk reward resource with fault,
Sure.
with Flames of the Faultine. Okay, fine, that's something. I think there's another way to go about it. And you were talking about it earlier. You're like, this squad just wants to kill stuff. There's two ways to take tactics cards. You can appropriately manage your energy so it's not as much of a detriment using stuff like Sucker and High Spenders. Or you can sink all your eggs in one basket and just go like, follow me, all you've got.
Yeah.
I don't know, blind obsession.
Blind obsession. Yeah.
No matter the cost, I don't know,
Whatever. Exactly. Yep.
I don't. I mean, personally, I think if I was building the list, I think instead of shooting for 11, I think you shoot for 15. You just go all in. Like, people are like, turn it up to 11. No, I think you turn it up to 15 with Dormammu.
Yeah, I agree.
I don't know that they want to be playing the long game out. And maybe there is something to that. They can play the long game, but they're gonna be on like the 7 wide cap Sam spam. On like Guardians, on Wakanda, where they're out activated. You're also out modeled, and you're also out objectived. I mean, in most cases.
In most cases, you're going to be, and that's the downside.
And so. I think just using your tactics cards to mitigate the energy. I mean, we're just talking. We haven't play tested it.
No, I haven't play tested it. No.
Right. And I think just talking about it, I don't want to be using my 5 tactics cards to mitigate my mechanic to play safer. I think I just want to go floor, pedal to the floor, forward, hold W, whatever your analogy. I think you just lean into that.
Yeah, absolutely. No, you're right. I agree. I do agree.
And as much as I'd like to see Sucker hit play, I want to abuse the ever-living crap out of, like, I mean, you said it yourself, the lists people are coming up with just the leadership alone are really inspiring, and I think that the cards you bring should augment what you're trying to do, not mitigate like a mechanic that you've been offered. That's just my 2 cents.
No, I agree. Dude, Battle Lust is a card that I never, not once have I thought of playing.
Although I think it's hilarious with Dormammu.
Oh my god! I mean, look at this. I mean, so you spend power equal to the size of the character. So you need 5 power, whatever. Spend the 5 power, dude. The next attack he makes, he adds dice equal to the amount he spent. Is that the deal? Is that what I'm reading?
No, it's equal to his size.
Yeah, it spends power equal to his size. The next attack made by the moving character, this activation adds dice to the attack equal to his size. Yeah, so 5. So he'll do a 11 dice Shadow Bolt.
I mean, he'll do a 13 dice incantation of obliteration.
If you want to increase your chances to pull off that Dark Miasma, go for it. This is a really good card. I mean, no, this is another card that and on top of that, you do get to push, so you get a little bit of control.
Yeah, no, I would.
Sick.
I don't know. It would be an awfully big turn to try and do Incantation of Obliteration with Battle Lust. The downside here is you're spending an action to move, and you're not just all in on dice.
Right, exactly.
So I think if he's on the move, if he's already on the move to like contest an objective or something,
right. Sure. Yeah.
Go for it.
But it's just so like he's opened up the game, like, and I can't wait to see Dormammu players and
so the other thing I want to mention, while we're on his card, we didn't cover, he's Flight, Immunity, Bleed, Incinerate, Stagger, right?
Yeah, that's right. He's immune to Bleed, Incinerate, Stagger, so you can't steal an activation from him, you can't incinerate him to lower his defense die, and
well, more importantly, what I was going to bring up was I think he's got some play with the alternate Gamma that does Incinerate.
Yeah, Demons. Oh my God, he owns on Demons for sure.
Yeah, because he will never get off the objective.
Never get off of it.
He's a 22 health really good defense, pain in the ass to deal with.
Yep.
So I think playing demons with Dormammu and Dark Dimension is like, that's your bread and butter right there. You want to talk about leaning into going 11 with this guy?
Yeah.
Play that, force your opponent to get the incinerates, and like, I mean,
goodbye.
that's what I'm gonna do with him.
That's
I
what
don't
I'm
know
gonna
about
do.
everyone else, but I'm gonna start playing demons with him.
Absolutely, dude.
Pardon my French, but fuck it. Why not? He can't. There's no downside for him.
There's
Like,
none. There's none.
He ignores the mechanic of the crisis.
Right. If you're making a Dormammu list and you don't have demons, we would have to have a conversation, and you have to really explain to me why you're not playing demons with Dormammu. That is tailor made for him.
The rest of the squad won't be able to help hold stuff, but I think
him.
the best list building for crises you can do with Dormammu is to plan around being outmatched. If you're outmatched, make it even. Make those little models suffer horribly for whatever they're doing.
Yep. Absolutely. Man, demons is going to be insane with him.
I also don't hate honestly, I don't hate Montesi formula with him either. Nope.
Don't hate that at all either. Again, it's funny. Okay, Gamma Wave only if you can increase the points. So like what I mean by that is, let's say for example you win secures, for some reason you dump demons and you have Gamma for whatever reason. If you can force a higher point on the extract, I can say okay, maybe go Gamma. Only reason why is because his base is huge. He's a nice backstop. So if anybody would like to try to push models out of like range 2 or whatever the case, you just put Dormammu behind them, and it's like, okay, well, good luck. They're gonna end up like hitting Dormammu's base somehow or whatever. And then from there, I could see him just like, again, whatever models you're taking, just melting people and then slowly winning the Gammas. And
so you want to hear my reason for Montesi formula?
No, go for it. What you got?
So you know how we were talking about last week with Fastnick taking Storm and just making her like crazy using tactics cards?
Yeah.
So in a roster with Dormammu, it stands to reason you're going to bring 3-point, 2-point models at some point that aren't going to hit very hard, potentially.
Mm-hmm.
Montesi formula gives you an extra attack that costs 2 energy, and he generates 2 energy for everyone in his party every turn. If they're holding onto a book, they get a beam 3 6-die attack for 2. They always will have 2 every turn.
Oh, Montesi's free.
Is it?
Yeah, it's free.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but no, I get what you're saying though. No, I mean that's
the one time I used Montesi, I was you know what it was? I was using Storm's thing to give it extra dice.
Oh, I get you. I understand what you're saying. Okay.
So
yeah, no, I get you. I get you. No, I mean, dude, I mean, it's just there's so much, man. And the other one today that I just thought of, and it's restricted. Now I probably know why it's restricted. Panic.
Panic's restricted?
Oh yeah, Panic's restricted.
Oh, Panic civilians.
Yeah,
right?
Civilians. Yeah, that's restricted. So
sorry, I thought you meant there was a card called.
No.
Panic.
I mean, because he could just easily, if he has priority, move, grab the back point. I mean, grab the back civilian, sit there, grab it, and probably extract that sucker with no problem. Not on turn one.
Yeah, I think the energy generation in the game got. Not to say that there was power creep, but there's more ways of doing it than initially developed, and that makes a problem for that scenario.
Oh yeah, absolutely. So that's why it was restricted to begin with. So it's just which is a good decision, good call. But if you play Panic, then you lose out on a restricted card that you could take. So there's that too. But I mean, again, like the biggest weakness for Dormammu again is not having any rerolls. Or not having any way to increase his defense dice, but he has 22 hitboxes. I mean,
if you're really worried about rerolls, you could put Zemo next to him.
Yeah, absolutely. You can put Zemo, you can do Shuri, stuff like that. Outside of that, I mean, I like everything he does. I love the creativity. I mean, I love how creative he is as a leader. The fact that you can take anything and it doesn't matter. Dude, on the way here, I was thinking of a. This is insane, but I was thinking of a Dormammu, Thanos, Magneto list at 20.
I mean,
why not? And just sit back and like just wait and like try to kill a bunch of people.
It crossed my mind too to just run Dormammu and Thanos at 16.
Yeah.
Just give him 2 gems.
Just give him 2 gems and just have fun. Dude, I just now that you mentioned that, there was a game this week with Ulysses, and I believe he went too wide with Thanos Corvus, and I could be wrong, but he ended up winning that game, going too wide. Thanos Corvus.
People say
against Black Panther,
and I assume that's deployment, right?
No, I'm sorry. He went, yeah, right. So he went to 2 characters, and then he went up against like a 4 or 5 wide Wakanda. It was 5 wide Wakanda team and won that game.
So when you say wide, you mean deployed separately?
Oh,
like
yeah,
wide, spread out. Okay, yeah. Just for the people who don't know what that term means.
Yeah.
That's what I assumed it meant. But
I might have that wrong. Who knows? I mean, and the point is that he didn't have the numbers. He was down 5-2, and just with Corvus and Thanos won the game.
Yeah, well, Corvus can handle that pretty quickly.
Yeah, he does, man. Corvus is something. But yeah, that's Dormammu. I like it. Unfortunately, we won't see it next week. I'm sad Panda. I had a feeling that was going to come. He will be out in select areas, I think the 13th, but the US probably won't see him until like September or October. Blade and Moon Knight as well. Okay. I'm more sad about Blade and Moon Knight than I am Dormammu, though. I really want a Blade and Moon Knight in my hands next week, because I really, really, really want to hit the table with Blade and Moon Knight, like tomorrow. So I just like what
you ever get the feeling that everyone is excited about the new stuff because they've played enough of the old stuff. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
I predict that people will not be theory crafting Dormammu lists in 3 months.
Probably not. No. I mean, by then something else will come out and be like, oh my god. I mean, Convocation is on the way, which, by the way, great segue. So that was Dormammu. So let's because Convocation, I think, is going to be a team that's going to be one of those, like you're saying, it's probably going to be like for 3 months. Someone's going to create a list and get bored, but they're exciting. Let's get to Baron Mordo. Let's talk about him before we talk about Convocation, because he is affiliated with Convocation, at least from what I see in the picture. So let's talk about Baron Mordo. My opinion, probably one of the best support models in the game. Hands down. I'm just going to get that out of the way right now. One of the best. He's 6 health, moves medium, size 2, threat 3. Defense dice 2, 4, 4. So 2 for physical, 4 for energy, 4 for psychic. Expected for the physical? Yeah.
I'm stealing your reading because you read Dormammu.
Oh no, go for it. Take it. Take it away. No, I read all Dormammu. Take it away. My voice is hoarse. Go for it.
Staff of the Living Tribunal is his first attack. Just to clarify, 2 physical, 4 energy, 4 mystic, 3 threat, 2 size, medium movement, 6 health. We covered all that. All 3 of his attacks are mystic. First one, Staff of the Living Tribunal, range 3, 4 damage, 0 cost. After this attack is resolved, the character gains energy equal to the damage dealt. On a wild, you get a push. If the character is size 2 or less before damage is dealt, this character may push it away. The important note here is before damage, which is sort of nice. Usually you see it after.
Yep, I agree. Mm-hmm.
So that's sort of sweet. That one's a pretty simple.
Yeah, it's pretty simple.
We get the before instead of the after. That's a nice twist. Pretty straightforward.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you can gripe about the 4 strength if you want, but
I won't, because it gets fixed in the next call. You'll see.
Yeah. No, I know. I saw it. Bolts of Bishru. 4 range, 4 strength. After this attack is resolved, this character gains 1 energy, and then wild for Hex. So I mean, he's got He's got one. I don't think you're using Staff of the Living Tribunal for damage or energy generation.
I agree.
Honestly,
I agree.
I think you're using it for the zone control on the push, and Bolts of Bishru is your builder at range 4. When the fight breaks and you're like rounds 2, 3, and later,
Mhm.
and people are within range 3, then maybe the staff to control a zone. But yeah, Reigns of Ragador. That guy is his ultimate or his big special spender, whatever you want to call it. Range 4, 7 strength, 4 energy, burning rain. After this attack is resolved, the target character gains the incinerate and poison special conditions. There is no wild on that, ladies and gentlemen. That always applies.
Always applies. Yep.
My first thought with this guy was running him with our Carbondanium Tentacled Omega monster.
Yeah.
But it's getting to the 4 to spend consistently was like my only concern. But
yeah,
but I mean, yes and no, and yes and no, because his first superpower is literally the thing that solves that. Master of the Occult action. This character gains 2 power. The superpower can be used once per turn. So I thought about running him with Omega Red and running Reigns of Ragador to make the poison thing worse. And I'm like, I don't know if that, like, what affiliation do you even use for this? You know, like two of you're at what, Omega's 4 points?
Omega's 4, yeah.
Yeah, so you're at 7 points with no affiliation. So it's kind of a rough.
It is, yeah.
So that's,
Yep.
Whatever your take on that is. For squad building, though, I think he fits all of his Mystic allies way better than he fits the Poison Incinerate thing.
Oh, yeah.
Soul Barb is his second power. It is spend 2. Choose an enemy character within 3 of this character with 1 or more of the following special conditions: Hex, Incinerate, Poison, or Slow. Choose one of these special conditions on that character. Each enemy within 2 of the chosen character gains the chosen special condition. This is why I wanted to use him. Honestly, with debuff characters was just kind of because you can spread them around.
Oh yeah.
And he's the only character that I can think of that has a mechanic that actively spreads them.
Right now, he's the only one I can think of off the top of my head.
Yeah. And Crystal and Wanda came to mind too. Was like,
oh man, for sure, Crystal and Wanda. You know.
Yeah. No, I had thoughts about this, and I'm sitting here going like, well, the debuff affiliation just got better.
Right.
Like,
yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah, so part of me was like, I think you could possibly go, I think the cheapest way to go is maybe Avengers, Wanda, Baron Mordo, and Crystal, but I could be wrong.
No.
Ferocity of Sidorak. We have a 2 spender here. It's got the instinct symbol. When another allied character within 3 of this character targets an enemy character with an attack, this character may use this superpower. The attacking character adds 2 dice to its attack roll. After the attack is resolved, the attacking character suffers 1 damage. The superpower may be used once per turn. So you were saying about being a good buff character?
Oh, absolutely. Because for me, he works great with spider foes. Because
I think the Ferocity of Sidorak with oh god, there's a whole plethora of characters.
Oh, there's a whole mess, dude. I mean, you can go down the list. Okay, like last night I was thinking about Iron Man. I mean, dude, Iron Man's push is really good. Like his free attack, that's energy range 4. It's only 4. It's 4 dice, which is what makes it poopy, and you need a while for the push. But man, if you can increase that to 6, and if you're playing a certain objective like, Gamma or something, you need to push somebody off a point, and it's a long range, dude. Man, if you can pull off that push, and again, there's no size restriction to it, so if you can push anybody and get them off a point and do something like stuff like that, and he gains power equal to damage dealt. So, like, just think about characters like that have an issue with the 4 dice thing, right? I mean, give Lizard 4 dice, 6 dice now. Give Green Goblin 6 dice now. Give Storm 2 more dice. I mean, he helps out almost everything you want to do. Now, granted,
Night throwing stuff.
Moon Knight throwing stuff too. I mean, add more dice. Why not? I mean, he just fits everywhere, and I like that about him. Just with that alone, I mean, granted, everything else like Soul Barb is amazing. Like I love the whole handout conditions to people then too. Like think about that. Give somebody incinerate, hand it out to everybody else. Now they have incinerate, right? So yeah, I mean, what are your thoughts? I mean, I don't know. Yeah, if you wanna, that's just my thought on that.
Last thing, vaulting boots of Valtor. After this character is pushed, he may use the superpower. After the effect is resolved, this character advances small.
Yep. So people that want to push him off and take him off position or something like that, no, he just gets back in.
Yeah, I think the ability for him to push others and counter a push on 2 energy, it's expensive, but I mean, if it affords you an extra victory point, are you really going to complain about 2 energy for a victory point? Probably not.
Nope. Not at all. Not here.
I think my only concern about he wants to be a support, but he also wants to control the battlefield.
Yeah.
A little bit.
Yeah.
I think the vaulting boots of Valtor is like if somebody like Shuri wants to back, like get him out of support range, he can scooch back in.
Yeah, basically.
I don't think it's going to be used as much for like contesting a point and getting back on, because I think if you're putting him in that position, you remember the discussion we had about playing Captain America wrong?
Yeah, I do. Yeah.
Yeah, this is the same thing. Like if you're putting Baron Mordo in a position where he's getting shoved off a point regularly, like he might be in a bad spot.
Yeah, absolutely. No, I agree. But yeah, I mean, Baron Mordo is gonna find his spot in almost every roster, right? Like, and it's a good thing. Like, we finally got a nice support piece that I think just fits everywhere, right? And
I don't know about every roster. I think
not every roster, but I mean, I would say a decent amount. Like for example, I mean, I could see him helping. Like I said, we said Storm, right? Help her out with dice. I think Baron Mordo has a spot in X-Men for sure.
I think X-Men are really tight belted on points already for that not to work.
Probably, but
I think Storm might have been a bad example for that.
But... Yeah, that's just the character that came to mind who's like suffers on dice, right? And another one.
Well, so like I think a better statement is like Midnight Suns with maybe throwing random. Did you see the meme about Moon Knight throwing random shit?
No.
Did I send that to you? Oh, here. Yeah. Let me find my phone. Here. We should have had this last week. This shit's funny. Yeah. It's a photoshopped comic, obviously.
Okay.
Oh god. I think I sent it to Randy.
That's funny.
It's super funny. Hold on.
Is it on Facebook?
It's in my messenger because I sent it to him. Oh no, wait, I got a better one. I'm gonna look at where's my Evan here? Yeah, here we go. I got this. I'll send it to you. You can put it up on your screen.
Yeah, I'll put it up on my screen right now. On Facebook, right?
Yeah. I wish we had this last week.
Yeah, I wish we did for the last episode. Oh, come on, Mr.
Whatever. We can bring it up now.
Oh, be careful, man. I hear... Wait a minute. I gotta read this. Be careful, man. I hear Moon Knight attacks with all sorts of random bullshit. Please. I got him dead to rights. Now to random bullshit go. That's yeah. That's funny. That's actually funny. That's actually really funny.
Random bullshit go.
That's actually how he's gonna hit. Yep, that's how he's gonna hit too in this game too. That's funny. That's fucking hilarious. I love that.
I found that in the Marvel Crisis group.
That's good.
So if Baron Mordo can make random bullshit go better, like that's a good use for it.
That's gonna be a use for absolutely. Yes. I'm gonna use that meme every time I play online now. All right.
Are you kidding me?
Why absolutely.
Not? Last things last. He's got flight.
Yep.
Not gonna go down the rabbit hole on that one, but
no movement restrictions or anything like that. And he is. Keep in mind, he is on a bigger base. So he's on a base similar to like Doctor Strange and stuff. Venom. Yeah, exactly. So he's got some. He can
So
move up.
that's
Yeah.
and so that's the thing that we don't talk about on the card, but obviously that's a thing. If he was on a small base, I'd be like, okay, he's good, but meh.
But
The
man,
fact that he's on a medium base
Mhm.
with some of these support abilities, like that small to medium base, when
Mhm.
you've got the support skills that are all range 3 like he has, that's an extra almost 1
Yeah.
measurement.
Yeah.
Almost.
Absolutely.
Or half of 1, I guess, because it's if you're going diameter from the center of the model. No, you're going from the outside edge, so it's still only half of a. Yeah, it's only still like half of a measurement, but it's still in all directions. So I mean,
Mm-hmm.
both ways, you're getting an extra half.
Yep.
So I mean, supporting somebody on one side with Ferocity of Sidorak and soul barbing somebody on the other side, you've effectively moved 1 between the two of them.
Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah, I mean, I just like he's definitely gonna go on my Spider Foes roster once he comes out. Just the fact that the only reason why, not the only reason why, but the main reason is that gives me a reason to play Green Goblin, because that'll give him his dice that he needs to pull off his to pull off his builder effectively. And just, I mean, he helps out other models too. The fact that you can put out other conditions on people too, that helps. If you can put Incinerate on multiple models, that even makes it even better. So that's why he's gonna make it on my list for Spider Foes. Midnight Suns for sure. I can't. Yeah, I'm gonna have so much fun playing with Blade with Wesley Snipes. I'm gonna have so much fun playing with Wesley Snipes. It's gonna be
Marshall
great.
Ali.
Until the movie comes out, it is Wesley Snipes. Wesley will forever be Blade until Mahershala Ali just kills it.
Honestly, the problem is I've seen Gallow Walkers, and after seeing that, I no longer can look at Wesley Snipes as Blade.
I know.
That movie was so bad.
It is. But no, I mean, yeah, Midnight Suns for sure gonna fit in, and he is affiliated with Convocation, which we can get to right now. I mean, I don't know if you've had.
Vision killed vampires better than Wesley Snipes did.
Really?
In Priest? Oh God, yeah, that movie was good.
Oh, okay, I have to watch that.
Yeah. What's his name? The guy who plays Vision, Paul Bettany.
Paul Bettany.
Yeah, and then the bad guy is played by Carl Urban.
Okay, cool. I have to watch that.
Super under the radar movie, dystopian future. It was based on a manga, actually.
Really?
Dystopian future where like we went to war with vampires, and then after the war was over, the priests who hunted them had nothing to do in society and were kind of looked down on, and then they find out later they didn't actually kill them all. So that's sort of what the movie's about.
Nice. All right, I'll have to watch that when I get a chance. All right.
I mean, it's not like great, but it's like
right.
one of those under the radar. I don't know. It's like people who have seen it liked it, but nobody saw it.
Right. Okay. No, for sure. All right, so let's get into Convocation here. This came out today. So now we're all caught up, guys. We're all caught up. Baron Mortal was a week ago.
Did we actually do Ancient One, or am I just like...
We could talk... No, we didn't. You know what?
We didn't, but...
We didn't, but that's fine. We can talk about the Ancient One. You know what?
We can put her off till next week.
We can put her off. Well, or we can combo it now. I mean, she's in the Convocation. We can just look at her card, and it's no big deal. But let's get to the leadership right quick of Convocation, okay? So now the thing with Convocation is... there is no leader. Okay. There's no leader, and they have affiliated models, obviously, with the team. Now, going off this picture here, right now, it's the new Doctor Strange. I'm gonna butcher this. Dr. Voodoo or Brother Voodoo, I don't know. So Brother Voodoo, there you go. So Baron Mordo is pictured with the Convocation. Wong is pictured with the Convocation, and so is Clea, along with the Ancient One. So with this picture, assumption is obviously the shoe-ins are Ancient One, Doctor Strange, Wong, right? Brother Voodoo. Mordo, we didn't know about, right? Because he's Mordo's, was a part of the Convocation at one point, but was evil, right? We didn't know he was going to be here.
I think they're going MCU, because if you go like old school comics,
Mhm.
Mordo gave up working with them to work with Dormammu for power, like
Yeah.
a Faustian bargain deal. I don't know how much of that's been retconned. I mean, this goes back to the same era that like Iron Man's nemesis was the Mandarin, right?
Right.
Which honestly, most disappointing thing in the MCU is that, but
Yeah.
whatever.
Absolutely. So yeah.
So stands to reason we're getting the MCU version where Mordo, at least from what I assume this picture means, we see Mordo in a place where he's not working with Dormammu and he's a magic user, so he's in the affiliation.
Right.
Even if he doesn't necessarily jive with them.
Right. What's interesting about this, and Pagani, I think, wrote this article too. Yeah, because he says, yeah, it's Pagani, whatever, talking about this. So with these packs, they're gonna get 8 affiliated tactics cards. 8. Okay. So they're gonna have a lot of crazy stuff with those tactics cards. Who knows what they do? Whatever. One of the tactics cards, though, because remember what I said, there is no leadership. One of the tactics cards is the leadership.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So, which is really cool. It's called the Bar with No Doors. This card does. Okay, no, wait. I'm sorry. It's the Bar with No Doors, and the leadership is called the Moons of Monopore. I can't say that. Monopore.
The tactics card itself is called the
Bar with No Doors.
The
Correct.
leadership ability is called the Moons of Monopore.
Monopore. Yeah, I can't say
when
that.
an allied character makes a mystic attack against a character without an activated token, it may reroll one of its attack dice.
There you go.
When an allied character without an activated token makes a defense roll, it may reroll one of its defense dice. Sorry, I almost said attack again.
Yeah, I know. I know.
So the text on this basically just says the conditions for playing it, which are I'll read it. But if this card is included in your roster and your squad is using the Convocation affiliation, you may add this card to your squad in addition to your normal allotment of team tactics cards. When you would normally pick an active leadership ability, choose a Convocation character to play this card and place it with one of the sides face up in your play area. The character that played this card has the leadership ability showing on the face up side. This character may spend one energy during the power phase to flip this card to the other side.
Yep.
So, you not only choose which one you're using, you choose which character you are using it from. And as we were talking about Mordo earlier, I mean, since this is sort of the affiliation with no leader, or the bar with no doors, whatever you want to call it, you can put your Baron Mordo as your centerpiece, even though he's not like a huge threat. You can use him as your center anchor to your widespread or narrow spread, whatever you want to do on deployment, and he's still going to have the range 3 to do his stuff while providing a leadership. And we don't know what the other leadership is that might have a range to it.
We don't. So right now the only thing we did not see the other side of the card. Really interesting. I love what they did here. So now,
so I have a silly question just to clarify.
Go for it.
It says if this card is included in your roster and your squad is using the Convocation affiliation, you may add this card to your squad in addition to your normal allotment of team tactics cards. So this doesn't take up one of your 5 usables. It's added as a 6th that's played on your character, right?
I hope so.
Well, it says you
in
may
addition,
add this card to your squad in addition to your normal allotment of team tactics cards.
Yeah.
That to me reads as your normal allotment's 5. This becomes your 6. Your 6 become your leadership. You lose nothing.
Right. That's what I messed that up in my video earlier today because I was like, oh my god, it takes up no, it doesn't. It's in addition. Yes, this is just so you get your 5 team tactics, so you don't take the penalty, and then you add an extra card. It's funny. Because you know whose leadership I want to work this way is the Guardians. I wish they could take an extra team tactics card that they could dump. You know what I mean? So
I mean, I just wish they had a better leadership.
And the leadership's different. Well, if I had more, yeah, you're right. I mean, the fact that you have to dump a resource to gain rerolls, it kind of sucks. But if I had the opportunity to like dump a stupid card that I'm never gonna play, and I still have my 5 team tactics cards, I'd be fine with that. But Yeah, no, I agree with you on that. But it's funny that we see this, and I'm like, okay, well, if the Guardians work this way, you'd see them played a little bit more.
You see them played. You
You
see
still see them played. They're still fun to play, and they're still decent. I mean, that level of Mystics card is ugh, that card is
You see
really
them
good.
played in wide, like
Yeah, why?
ridiculous wide lists, but I think this was sort of before Sam came out,
Yeah,
and I think Sam coming out sort of put the kibosh on running cheap Guardians
yeah,
a
I
little
agree.
bit because
I agree.
So I don't think it's not. I don't think it's they're replacing the dryer in the basement, so
No,
they're like knocking on a wall, and I could hear it, and I just stopped
that's
my train of thought.
funny. No, you're good.
No, it's not like Guardians were in a bad place in the meta. They were like, hey, we can run 5 to 7
Mhm.
wide and be hilarious, right?
Mhm.
And people were doing it, and then Sam comes along and is like, I just do this thing better. And
Yep.
I mean, due to the competitive nature of how people play on TTS and some of these lists and, the meta, I mean, in a casual tournament, I think if you want to play Guardians, you're going to play Guardians, right?
Yeah. Absolutely.
I think on the online thing where people were doing like the 7 wide thing, once Sam was able to be used, it's just you're picking one or the other, and one's better.
One's better. Yep. And it honestly just comes down to leadership too. Um, and well, I mean, Sam, he's a long mover and all that stuff. But I mean, if Star Lord had a better leadership, I mean, he'd be taken. So, but yeah, I know I like this. This, what this reminds me of? It reminds me of Legion when you flip over to the offensive defensive stance thing. That's what it reminds me of, in a way.
Most people don't play that card, but there are other cards that do it.
Yeah, the other cards that flip over back and forth, and I like that. That's interesting.
Like I just picked up Agent Callus, and he can flip his gun into a bow staff type thing.
That's sick.
And back.
That's sick. By the way, I found out Wookiees can be played with the Republic. Well, I knew that already, but I didn't know. I thought the new Wookiees can play with the Republic. I didn't know the old Wookiee warriors can play with the Republic.
They couldn't up until recently.
I know. Yeah, I didn't. Yep.
So, side tangent, they're getting a Wookiee chieftain, but they didn't pay the licensing fees to make him General Tarful. But if you look at the model, he is General Tarful, and he's a one of. You cannot use a second one of him. So the Wookiee chieftain really is Tarful. And then we're getting Grand Army of the Republic stat cards for old Wookiee warriors because they were rebel only. But with the new ones, we're getting a card to make them Yoda Tarful. And then we're getting Wookiees, stat cards for Wookiees for Grand Army of the Republic. And then we're getting new Wookiee add-on kits that are usable in both.
Oh, nice. I can't wait.
So Wookiees are now like a legit sub faction. And then the funny thing on top of all of that is Tarful actually has a card where he can pick up Yoda and carry him.
Oh, that's funny.
And Yoda can do actions from the back of Tarful.
Nice. When is all that dropping?
September-ish is when we're getting like the Magna Guards for Grievous and stuff. So I expect the Wookiees are going to be around then.
Yeah, I need to hit up Gamer Zone and pick up those Wookiee packs. By the way.
Yeah, I mean they're out of stock a lot of places because Wookiees jumping into the Rebel bus became a thing, so they're sold out a lot of places.
Yeah, I know. I could have jumped on
anyway,
so we can get to the last. Let's get. So that was it for Convocation. Nothing really. It was just
Wookiee surprise
appearance. Right, exactly. And the reason why this is cool is because it's something new to the game. Right, this is brand new. Like we haven't seen it before. Granted, it's a game that's only been out for 2 years. But it's awesome to see this. This is cool.
That is the one thing that I had a gripe about with MCP is after I started touching on Legion, I'm like, man, I wish the leadership stuff was as fleshed out as Legion, but that's a whole different thing.
Yeah.
We're getting there, sort of.
Yeah, we're getting there, and the game's gonna open up. Like I can't wait for the new meta, the new everything that's coming out with this. It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be great. It feels refreshing, and I just can't wait to see what this is about. So let's get to the ancient one. We didn't talk about the ancient one at all. That's my fault. But we're here. 6 health, moves medium, size 2, threat 4. Defense 2, 3, 5. So 2 physical, 3 energy, 5 psychic. Has a free attack, range 2, 5 die builder. After this attack is resolved, You gain power, you go to damage dealt, and she has a pierce. And it's psychic, by the way. Keep that in mind. It's a psychic attack. We get to the next attack, which is not a spender either. Fangs of Faralaw, range 3, 4 dice, psychic. After the attack resolved, this character gains 1 power. I like how they're slowly fixing this, as you can see. Like some models miss it, and some models, but this is good. So it's like, okay, I like this. Gain 1 power regardless. If this attack deals damage, after this attack is resolved, the target character gains the poison special condition. So you,
I think that it's more of at least with the 2 newest factions, they're doing it. But like with X-Men, they deliberately didn't. I think it's more going to be tied to affiliation.
Yeah, probably. Yeah. So with this, okay, you do damage, you gain poison, and you know if you can combo Baron Mordo with this, you can give poison to multiple models too. And I just thought of it just now. Move that poison with Baron Mordo. Omega Red pulls them in and kills them. Oh, all right. Anyway,
why do you think I was talking about Mordo and poison?
Poison,
and Incinerate earlier.
Yeah, no, I see it now. I see it.
Dude, I'm telling you, Demons Downtown, Mordo, Dormammu.
Yeah, I see it. I can see it. All right, so the big spender, Astral Strike, range 2. So if you notice, there's no range 4 attacks, there's no range 5 attacks. It's all 2 to 3. It's 2/3/2. So she's a brawler. She's a brawler. Yeah, she's a psychic brawler basically. Which is cool. I mean, we haven't seen. Well, granted, Blade's gonna be on his way. I think Blade will be like, you know, the psychic brawler because you know the range 2 attack he has is psychic. But this is another addition to that. So now for the people that want to play with psychic attacks and want to brawl and want to just fight, Ancient One is a really good choice.
I thought Blade was too physical in one of his big ones.
No. So his psychic attack, his builder, is range 2 psychic.
Really?
Oh, yeah. Okay. I was surprised too. I thought it was physical too, and I looked at it like, no, it's psychic. I was like, all right, sure. So yeah, Astral Strike, 4 power cost. The defending character does not add crit results in its defense roll to its total successes and cannot gain additional dice from crits. If this attack deals damage, after this attack is resolved, the target character gains stagger. So,
am I missing something on transmissions? Did they release Blade's card?
Yeah, you got to go down to. They should. Oh, you know what?
It's not on transmissions.
Yes, no. It's not on transmissions. You got to go to the wherever it is. Yeah. Yeah. Oh well. Yeah. If you look at the Blade has a range 2 psychic. So let's get the superpower. So Mists of Hogarth, Hogarth. God, Mists of Hogarth. Place this character within 2 of its current position. The superpower can only use once a turn. So similar to Dormammu, can teleport herself within 2. So if you start thinking about this, if you play her with Dormammu, this is another option. Turn 1, you'll have that. Place yourself within 2, and you'll be able to beat on somebody. Really, really fast with 1 move. So there you go. Winds of Tomb, 3 power. When this character is targeted by an attack, it may use superpower. Push the target character towards you small.
To clarify, it says push the attacking character towards
the attacking
this character.
Yep, towards this character. Yep.
But yes, I mean, towards you, the player would be.
Oh no! Right, exactly. Right towards me, not towards the model. Towards me, where I'm standing right here. Go towards me. No, but no, you can.
I'm gonna walk around the table and use this ability.
Use this ability. Exactly. Wouldn't that be funny? Like, yeah, I'm gonna walk here. Now you have to come towards this. What? Like, yeah.
That seems like a Deadpool ability.
Right, doesn't it? So this is really cool because somebody wants a sniper, range 5 or something. You know, they can just push those range 5 attackers towards her. It can be really effective. I like it a lot. That's pretty much all I have for that. So now we go to the Keeper of the Eye of Agamotto. When this character is making a defense or dodge roll, it may re-roll up to 2 of its defense dice or dodge dice. Additionally, during the power phase, this character gains 1 power. So she can teleport regardless turn 1 without Dormammu. My bad. So there you go. She also has Martial Artist. If you're within range 2 of her, physical and energy attacks blanks are added towards total successes.
I was gonna say, like, yeah, she can teleport without the extra energy from Dormammu.
Yep, I totally missed that she gained an additional power. So
Yeah,
she's
she's
good.
real good.
She's really good. She's gonna be fun to play. She's gonna be really fun to play. Going and just beating people up with like psychic attacks and stuff, and like I could
it's funny because this card is a little bit more reminiscent of what you'd see on like a Bushido character.
Oh,
truthfully,
really? Okay.
Yeah, pretty close.
Okay.
Like specifically with the monk factions, there's like an action you could do to generate power, which I'm surprised is not a thing in this game.
Yeah.
But you could in that game, and some of the monks gained an additional resource.
Right.
They did.
I have to play Bushido more.
That was a stat that they had.
Yeah, that's a game I was always interested in playing because I like samurais and stuff. That's a game I always wanted to pick up, but nobody has it, and I can't play with anybody.
I have 8 factions.
Oh wow. Well, if you ever want to bring it up first, well, I'll do a demo game at some point. I would like to play it. I'm interested in it.
I've got 8 factions and 8 separate boards. I have a lot of shit. I don't have the new rules, but that's
fine.
A whole different
we can look that up.
But yeah, the this is closer to, so like, I shouldn't say this is closer to like a Bushido card, but it's got like the Keeper of the Eye of Agamotto would be 2 separate abilities on a Bushido card, and you'd have to like pay for the extra defense.
Okay.
Usually.
Okay.
A lot of the rerolls and stuff in this game are free. Bushido, they're not, but you generate more in Bushido. So
right.
You generate per turn with a stat. So some characters generate 3 and cap at like 8.
Okay. That's cool.
So
all right.
It's different. But yeah. She doesn't have flight or wall crawler or anything.
Nope. So yeah.
She's your psychic brawler, but at the same time not as reliable terrain wise. Which
right.
Her one downside is that.
That's her one downside. That's her one downside. She can't. I'm surprised she didn't get the martial artist that Iron Fist has. Granted, I don't think you want to throw that out there as much.
What's the martial artist that he has?
It's range 3. So basically, it's martial artist. It's just range 3 instead of range 2.
I think that.
I was kind of surprised the ancient one didn't have that because just the ancient one's lore. But...
Yeah, no, I think that would have been almost too much on her.
Oh no, that would
have
been too much.
And she's supposed to be safe from brawling.
Exactly. I was just surprised. I was like, after reading everything, I know why and I understand why, and it makes sense.
Well,
so I was just shocked. Yeah.
Correct me if I'm wrong, right?
Yeah.
Iron Fist doesn't have rerolls on defense, does he?
No.
Right. So between Keeper of Agamotto and extending the range to 3, she would be very hard to drop for a 4-point.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. No, with the rerolls is what separates the two. So that's why I think they didn't give it to her. So it's like, okay, well, we got her rerolls, which is good enough. I'll take the rerolls any day of the week, along with the martial arts as well. So yeah, no, she's got a lot of crazy stuff, and I think she's gonna work well with X-Force for sure too. I like her with X-Force.
That's where I wanted to play her, is because they don't have they have brawlers, but they don't. Like, I think we're waiting on a Colossus release.
I think so too.
And I think she's maybe not gonna fill the same role, but definitely has some play in objective taking while being like, what are you gonna do? Focus down this little lady while Cable shoots you with incinerates?
Yup. Good luck with that, fam.
And then Cable gives her an extra reroll on offense?
Yep. And
just one.
And on top of that, pump defense dice.
Yeah. On top of all of that shit show, right?
Yep.
Pump defense dice for this little lady that reroll.
Yep. She's going in my defensive roster. I mean, she's gonna easily replace anybody.
Yeah, my only concern is like, okay, so she's a psychic brawler. She'll get in there and do her stuff. My only concern with her, right? My only concern is she's got a 2 on physical, and most brawlers are bringing a physical.
Yes. Correct.
I don't think we've seen Valkyrie entirely eliminated from the game. Where
No.
if you're expecting a Valkyrie at all, Valkyrie will probably tear this little lady a new one.
Oh, absolutely, easily. The reroll will help. The reroll will help. But yeah, I mean, Valkyrie should go to Talon on her, no problem.
Yeah, and I don't know. That's sort of.
I mean, Magneto for sure too. I mean, Moon Knight can too.
Yeah, that's. So I mean, as cool as she is, I think she's more of a weird, brawly glass cannon.
Yeah, I would. The only reason why I won't take glass cannons because she can reroll and has blanks as successes.
I guess
but,
so. I shouldn't say glass cannon.
Yeah,
I think outside of 3, anyone like I don't know, even Punisher just doing like 4 dice from 3 or
absolutely. Domino.
Like Domino. There's a couple characters that Mystique. Anyone with like a multi-shot that's got 4 dice and a multi-shot on her is going to be like a lot of consistent damage.
Yeah, you're gonna want to play her pretty carefully and take your time. I just like the fact that she can push people towards and like just do all that kind of shit. And then she has a way to get out too. She has the place within 2 and all that kind of stuff. So I don't know.
I mean, she's definitely got play, but I think it's depending on the team you're going into. Like, I think she can hold her own against most teams, but like where I see a problem is like, I don't know, you run into like Asgardians where they have an extra die and extra energy and they're primarily physical.
Right.
It's and even then, like handing up poison on Asgard, so what?
That's a lot. That hurts. I mean, poison hurts, man. Like it sneaks up when you don't even think of it. Like it hurt. I think I was playing against Nick, not Fast Nick, another Nick here, and all I had to do was
like that. You have to differentiate.
You have to differentiate, yeah. So I mean, I moved up with Colossus and on 2, on like 2 or 3, I mean, I'm sorry, Colossus. Jesus.
I was about to
Omega
say,
Red,
if you were playing with Colossus, I'm gonna have to hurt you.
Yeah, like how'd you get him? But no, Omega Red. I used Omega Red, moved up.
Those are 2 very different characters, son.
2 very different characters. Yeah, I don't know why I have them on the brain. You know why I have them on the brain is because of that one episode they're in the X-Men the animated series. That they're facing each other or whatever. I think.
Did Colossus fight Omega Red?
I don't think they fought. I think he was there and like they had maybe a scuffle. I have to. Maybe I'm misremembering that episode, but it doesn't matter. The only reason why
from my childhood.
Yeah, the other reason why I correlate too because they're both Russian. So they're Russian. So
that's racist.
Probably, but
countryist.
They're Russian, so yeah, you know. What was I gonna say? Oh, so no, I moved up with Omega Red on like 3 X-Men characters, and they weren't able to generate power and not able to do anything. It was like, yeah.
I thought it made it so they generate 1.
No, you're -1.
Less?
1 less.
Oh no, you lose 1.
Yep. Okay. Let me make sure that I played that right.
You lose 1 in power up phase. That's not you generate 1 less.
Yep, the card. Yep, loses 1 power. So there you go. Poison sucks, man. Like it's one of those that like if you're not thinking about it, it's like damn, that kind of messes with my power economy a little bit. But you know. But that's it for the Ancient One. Honestly, that's all I got today. Unless you got anything else you want to talk about, Aaron. I think we covered a lot.
Did we cover Blade's card in a previous cast?
I think we did with Fast Nick. No, we did the panel to play. Man, we missed a lot. Let me get Blade's. Let's talk about Blade for a quick second. We missed a lot. I'm sorry, guys. This episode's really long today. Whatever.
I have a day off, and he decided he wanted to do this in the afternoon, which is why I'm moving my car, and people are putting in dryers and washers.
And I had a day off today too. I'm trying to make money off state fair parking, which isn't going well. But all right, let me. Yeah, I'm getting out hustled here, man. These people are charging $10 and putting people on their front lawn. I can't even do it. I'm offering a garage and nobody's taking it. So
for how much?
Dude, $10.
Oh. I'm getting out hustled.
I'm getting out hustled, man, and I'm like, it's hurting me here, man. I need to make some money. All right, So okay, so if you want, I can share my screen with you.
Just send me the link.
Well, it's not a link. I'm on an app right now.
Oh.
So it's, but don't worry. I can show it to you. It won't take it'll take me 2 seconds. Share your screen, and I'll share the blade. Yeah.
Let's see if I can.
You should be able to see it. So you see it on your screen now?
Yeah.
You see it?
Yep.
Okay. So Blade, we didn't talk about Blade's card. We talked about the affiliation and all that. So we had a lot to talk about. All right. So anyway, 6 health, moves medium, size 2, threat 4, 4, 3, 4. So 4 physical, 3 energy, 4 psychic. He's the leader of the
I'm
Midnight
stealing
Suns.
this one.
Yeah, go for it.
Dibs.
Yep. Oh, go take the rest of it. You got it.
Yep. So surprise, surprise. His first attack, Katana, is psychic. I have no idea why.
Me either. I thought it was gonna be physical, and I'm like,
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Okay, so psychic, 2 range, 5 dice, 0 energy. After this attack is resolved, this character gains energy equal to the damage dealt. It applies bleed automatically, and it has a pierce on a wild.
Yep.
That's really good.
Yep. Very solid.
Okay.
Keep going. Dude,
Okay.
Blade's gonna be fun to play. Yep.
Like, okay, cool. His second attack, throwing glaives, physical. Why isn't this one psychic? Who knows? Throwing glaives, physical, 4 range, 4 dice, 0 energy. After this attack is resolved, this character gains 1 energy. Wild for bleed. Third attack, also psychic, Knight of the Dampier. 3 range, 7 strength, 4 energy. If the target character has a bleed special condition, you may re-roll any number of attack dice. Automatically causes bleed, even if they don't have it. And then after this attack is resolved, this character may advance
Medium. Yep.
So he's got a little bit of beast hoppity hoppity going around a little bit. Obviously, first things first, leadership. He is leader of the Midnight Suns, which the ability is called Bump in the Night. Once per turn, at any time during an allied character's activation, it may spend 1 energy. If it does, place that character within 1 range of its current position. Yeah, it's really good. Half-Blood Physiology. This is an ability I wish more characters had. Spend 1. This character immediately performs a shake action. Doesn't cost an action.
Nope. It gets through stagger.
Yeah, pretty bonkers. I wish more characters had that, especially like the tanky ones. Like I would have expected Cap to have something like that, but I guess the time.
For me, what I wish would change, and I've thought about this. I think Shake. Granted, I understand. I like the skill of Shake because, it forces you to make a decision, where to give up an action to get rid of the condition or whatever, or live with it. I love that. I think that's smart. I think that's a good design. I just think at this point, with the uptick in the conditions and all that stuff, personally for me, what I would like to see happen, and now this would be stupid because you'd have to find, because stagger exists, right? I would like for there to be an option where if you could spend a certain amount of power, you can clear a condition and it doesn't cost you an action. But the problem is, well, I mean, if you do it that way, I mean, you're taking a power cost to do it, so you can get through a condition, and you can only do it once per turn. I don't know. I mean, what do you think? I mean, I don't know.
I think certain characters should have stuff like that, like the tankier ones that don't do a lot of damage, that are more bodyguards and stuff, like Luke Cage, Cap. Those characters, like action economy for them is more about positioning than attacks. Sure. I think denying attacks on like your heavy hitters is going to be part of the game. I think denying movement and stuff is, I don't know. There's it depends on what they're doing and what their plans are. If they have plans to go a different direction, with status effects, I don't know. I think there needs to be a little bit of tuning on status effects. There's so many of them now, and they do wildly different things, and the power of which is wildly varying too. and then always shaking one is always in action on pretty much everybody. It's just
Right.
I don't know. It's I think the inception of what that was supposed to look like versus what it looks like now are two very different things.
Right.
I'm not one of the designers. So.
Right. Exactly. This is just I'm gonna have so much fun playing. This is why I want him in my hands next week because he's so fun.
So next, so all I was saying is I wish more characters had this. I'm not saying the game should be defined around it, but I'm really looking forward to a Steve Rogers 2.0 at some point.
Yeah.
Just to see how they update that character.
Yeah.
For me personally, I would love to see the Director of Shield version, but whatever. So Blade's next ability, Supernatural Senses. When this character is defending against a physical or energy attack, after rolling its defense dice, it may use a superpower. This character may reroll any number of its defense dice, including critical fails or failure results. I like this ability. I like this ability a lot. I like that it costs 2. I think it would be way too good at 1.
Yep.
He's really power efficient for all of what his powers are,
right?
Especially getting into this last one. At the end of this character's activation, it gains one power and removes 1 damage from itself for each other character within 2 that has the Blade special condition. It's important to note that that's friendlies.
Yep.
It's important to note that, like, I don't know, I was looking around for a list to play with this guy, and I'm like, I don't know, I think Wolverine or Sabretooth, anyone that hands out bleed or whatever.
Carnage.
I mean, Carnage too, but...
Carnage hands it out with no condition. Venom hands it out with no condition. So what I mean by that is...
Well, no, I know what you're saying, but what I was getting at is... don't get me wrong, we sort of talked about that, but the more I thought about it, the more I want a squad that reliably heals too.
Yes.
So I think you can lean into Blade's healing. I mean, a Wild's not terribly hard to hit to put out bleed, so...
No. You can play characters that do it on the Wild too. I mean, but no, I mean, the other thing is too, Sabretooth, me and Dizzard were talking about it a couple days ago. We played a game in our tournament. I ended up losing that. I got tabled. Wrong. Yeah, it was dumb. I had 2 characters left, and he killed Doctor Strange with he one-shotted him with Baron Zemo. It was insane. So it happens. Doctor Strange can't die. What was I saying? So no, we were playing Sabretooth that game, and the way he was putting on bleed with his attacks, like, Midnight Suns for sure. And the fact that he can do Bump in the Night, put him within 1, and put him closer, and he moves long. Why not? Right? The Bump in the Night is what really, like, everything else about Blade is awesome. The leadership is just great. It's just
even if he didn't have the leadership, he'd still be a really solid
solid piece. He'd still be a solid piece without it, and that's what I love about it.
Even at 4, yeah.
Even at 4, he'd be solid. His injured side, nothing changes really. Everything's the same.
No, nothing changes, and that's sort of I hate to say this, but I think there is a bit of power creep going on in the game, and it's not. I don't think it's deliberate. I think they had sort of a design philosophy that was very basic when they started out. It was kind of a little conservative. And now that we're getting into it, they've loosened the constraints on what that conservative design nature is. And as a result, we're seeing more and more powerful characters. And the old ones, like Doc Ock, feels real shitty.
Oh, yeah. I just think that... No, you're starting to see where their design philosophy... And why I don't think it's a power... I just think it's a natural progression.
Like, I don't mean like they're trying to sell more. Like, power creep in most games is they're trying to sell more stuff. I think it's a loosened design philosophy that has led to models just being inherently better for their price, not to try to sell models, but as a progression of the game. I think we need a new core set, or at least the same core characters, like, redone.
Oh yeah, and I think we will at some point. I think we'll get a new Iron Man. We'll get a new, like, but what I think is gonna happen is I don't think we're gonna get another core set ever again. I think they're just gonna re-release those models, and like you just said, there could be like a Steve Rogers, director of Shield, right? And
Like originally, I thought for set 2 for the core set that was supposed to be X-Men, but they broke it up into different
brought
boxes.
up different boxes.
That's what I had heard, like
That's what I
from
thought.
a very unconfirmed source. But
Yeah.
if you look at like how many cards have the X-Men symbol on it, and that release would have been
Yeah.
appropriate, you know.
Yeah. No, I agree. I agree. But yeah, no, he's awesome. I can't wait to play him. I'm gonna have a great time with it. It's gonna be fun. I already have my Venom and Carnage thing going on here, so I can't wait. I can't wait. This is gonna be these releases. These next, well, if we get them in the next 2 months, are gonna be really fun. I think they're gonna add like a different dynamic to the game. And lists are going to change up dramatically, I think, in my opinion. I think we'll see more Midnight Suns. I think we'll see more Convocation. I think we'll see crazy ass Dormammu lists that people are like, oh my god, why does this work? Right?
I think we'll see people playing the new stuff. And
Oh,
that's where I'm having a problem. Like I'm playing one team approximately a month, you know, for 4 games or whatever, get a feel for them, and I'm having a really hard time finding like the list that is me, other than Criminal Syndicate, and they just didn't do enough work when I was playing them. So maybe it's just go back to the drawing board and redo my faction with stuff I want. I don't know.
Well, I play whatever I want. I'm like me, like I've set, okay, me, my mindset is like, okay, I think Defenders fits me, and I'm like, that's what I'll play. But like, I'll play all kind of shit because I'm like, okay, let me try this, let me try that. I mean, I still have fun with it because there's so many because I have everything at my disposal. It's not like I'm stuck. You know what I mean? It's like I can just play this and let me try it. You know, like whatever.
Yeah, the Defenders. I love Doctor Strange. I love all the characters on that roster. I don't necessarily. Maybe I'd have to go back to the drawing board for Crisises, and maybe that's my holdup. But like, I don't necessarily like playing into the late game. I really like getting an early advantage and then playing tempo to keep it. So I don't think that faction does that necessarily the best.
No,
I don't
know. They kind of wait it out a little bit. I mean, they can't have an. I mean, I'll put it like this: they're not going to outscore, like Wakanda early, or maybe not Spider Foes early. Maybe Spider Foes. Oh my God, Web Warriors, stuff like that. But yeah, their style is mostly like, okay, position, and you know, get people on points, reposition people with Doctor Strange, you know, stuff like that, and then take advantage of, you know, Valkyrie dazing somebody, you know, this turn because, you know, you set it up or whatever. They're mostly, at least that's how I think about it. Their positioning and just taking their time and then like feeding defense dice and try to burn down their resources as much as possible. Then it's your turn. You know what I mean?
I think my problem is I haven't been putting time into list building and thinking about stuff as much as I've been putting time into Legion lists lately.
No, that's all it is. That's all. That's fine, and that's fine. I mean, I need to start putting more time in Legion as well because I have figs I want to play. I need to get to play. I've only had one game. I like the game a lot, and I need to. Well, I want to get the Wookiees first before I play again, and then come up with a list.
So for the tournament Saturday, I showed up with Iden Versio and ISFs, and people looked at me and went, "What is this?" And then they realized what the list did, and they're like, "What fresh hell is this bullshit?"
Nice. Well, there you go. There you go.
Because people didn't, because most units don't get marksman in that game. Marksman allows you to take a die if you have an aim token and increase it.
Okay. Nice.
So if you have a hit, you can spend an aim to go up to a crit.
Yeah. That's
so
awesome.
Crits go through armor.
Right. That's sick.
So
that's sick.
And then I had like surge to crit on some of my weapons and stuff. So I literally have an ISF squad deal 4 damage to an ATSD in a turn, and my opponent looked at me and went, "What?"
That's sick. That's so sick. That's so sick.
Yeah. But
yeah.
whatever.
All right. So I think we're gonna call the episode. We're at 2 hours, and my voice is going away.
I have stuff to go do.
Yeah. So all right, guys, that's episode 6 of the Omega Level Threat. It's Anthony. It's Aaron. We are the
Soon
Omega
it'll be
level threat.
Randy.
Pretty soon it'll be Randy at some point. We don't know. Whenever we can get him a mic and a computer, he'll be on. But yeah, that's it, guys. That's Omega level threat. Have a wonderful day out there. Keep playing MCP. You anything you want to plug before we head out, Aaron, or you good?
I plugged it earlier.
You
Suicide
did?
Squad.
All right.
I'm finalizing the draft format on my computer. I don't know anyone who wants to play test it.
Well,
but
we'll see.
You know.
Yeah.
But that's one of the things I've been trying to do for a while is the draft format where you get a group of people, you draft your lists, and you play over a couple weeks with those lists.
Yeah, I've been wanting to do that for the past year. So now that we have more players, I mean, we can, and now we have more models. We just gotta get people that want to do it here locally, and like, yeah, man, let's just do it.
My only thing that I'm like really hiccuping on is including like bans of certain characters or not. But
no, I think no,
not like putting them in the rules. Like you can't use Thanos. No, I'm saying like each player gets to ban one character before drafting starts.
Oh, I get you.
And that's something where like the testing I think would help a
lot. Yeah, not for sure.
And then testing, is the mechanics I have in place for trading and stuff fair? Is it unfair?
Right.
Is it
Yeah.
So like at this point it's pretty sufficiently written out. It's only like 3 pages tops, something like that. It's pretty simple.
All right.
But you know, it's just at this point gotta get feedback on it.
Yeah, when you finish it, I'll do it. No problem. I can do it.
Yeah, well, we need a group of people.
Exactly. Which we'll do. All right, guys, that's it. That's the end of the episode. Have a wonderful day. Enjoy the podcast. Episode 7 will be next week, and we'll figure out what other crazy shenanigans.
Will we even have anything to talk about?
Oh man, I think we will. I mean, if we're going down this path right now, I'm telling you right now, calling it now, the Hood and Clea will probably be talked about next week, or Brother Voodoo or Doctor Strange will be talked about next week, and I guarantee there's gonna be some crazy shit with those guys, and it's gonna be great.
All right.
All right, we'll wrap it up here. Have a wonderful day, guys. Take care.